All right, let's do it. We are live here at Smoking Barrel in Mount Holly, North Carolina. We are live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So thanks for joining us today. We're excited to be here. We have our full complement. The goddess had to take a moment, a phone call, so she has stepped away for a second. But we got T Crocker, the Cigar extraordinaire. Carolee Martin will be back. She is the goddess of cigars. We have Charles Martin, Charles Wilkerson. I'll explain that one. WhiskeyTangoCharlie here today. So Charlie Martin is speaking tomorrow at a luncheon that I'm going to. He's the mayor of Belmont. That was on my mind. Should not have been. So here we are. We have a great show set up for you guys. We got a lot going on. First and foremost, our thoughts and prayers go out to those in the Caribbean, Florida, everyone in the path of this hurricane. We already had one come through. Now we've got Ian coming through. And,
so Fiona left, and Ian is coming behind her.
So he's searching her out. Canada got the worst of Fiona. I mean, Puerto Rico's horrible. The Dominican got hit. Obviously, there are some others, but man.
Houses were going into the ocean.
Yeah. Houses in the ocean in Canada. Yeah, it's it's awful everywhere. So thoughts and prayers with everyone. So please keep them in your prayers. We'll be needing to help a lot of folks. It'll hit here. Obviously, not near as impactful here this weekend. So for those in the path, we are thinking about you. Right. So Charlie, today I threw us a curveball.
So you did, dude. Bryan, what are you doing here, man? You just like did it to me, right? So you're like, I got here a few minutes early, and I'm kind of getting set up. I grabbed just to get a little sip to go ahead and get the shock to palate going, and I'm back at work, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not bourbon. I mean, that's got a, what is this? And so I didn't say anything, and I'm busy working, and I get a second sip, and I looked over at you, and I said, what are we drinking today? And you told me, and I said, man, this is not bourbon, and we didn't have the bottle on the table, so I was blinded here. But what a treat, because I know this taste, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. I actually, I didn't have the distinct memory of it. I was just like, ooh, this is good. And when you said the name, I'm like, oh yeah, we've had this before.
Yeah, so today it's a treat. Thank you. Redbreast 12, an Irish whiskey, 80 proof. I was getting that nuttiness from the taste, and I was like, and then you get that sherry.
Really, we're going.
I don't want to hear nothing out of Slingshotless over there. Just saying.
No, he didn't.
Wow.
Okay.
Just saying.
All
Anyway, let's just move on.
It's gonna be a long day.
Vanilla. But what caught me off is I knew immediately was that sherry. You get that sherry finish there, that little sneak it hits. So great treat. This is at the Smoking Barrel. You guys have had this on the bar. Keep it there.
So we got Redbreast 12 in. I was actually introduced to it by Ross Miller, who has been here since we opened. He lives down the street, and he's a connoisseur of all things cigar. And I will say bourbon, but really, if you ask me, I think he's the Redbreast king. So during COVID, we got COVID. And Ross, you brought me 15 or 18? 15. So Ross is in here, by the way. So we couldn't get out. He had a flask of Redbreast 15 in it, and he dropped off on our front doorstep. And that really helped me get over COVID. So we were all shut down. I mean, y'all know how it worked. But so that was my introduction. So I tried the 15, I tried the 12, and there's quite a price difference between the two. There's a pretty good difference between the two.
A little bit. Yep.
It's about $50. I think the 15 is like $133.
So it depends where you go, but I think it's about 120, 130.
With tax, right. It'd be about 133. And then this one's like 80, 83. So I thought, for the difference, I felt like the 12 was a better value to carry at the bar. I felt like you're going to get that smoothness, that taste. you don't get a burn. Like, this is not
No.
one you're going to get a Kentucky hug
No.
out of. You know, you're going to get a, Irish fist bump. That's all you're going to get out of this.
Irish fist bump. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yep.
We also have Proper 12, which we started carrying.
I love that.
The Proper 12 was another good pour. It really is. But this one is the red breast. The 12 always has that sweetness and the vanilla,
Climb under the table next time.
the honey.
And it all sits right on the front and the front side,
Just-
like the front part of your
yeah.
tongue. Yeah. Because we talk a lot about how the others sit in the back.
Yeah.
But this sweetness stays up front.
Yeah, this is a real change against the stick for today. So y'all, and I lit the stick up a while ago, and I said, "Whoa, we stepped up a little bit since last week, didn't we?"
Yeah, this is.
And what did you say? A lot.
Yeah, so we're smoking the Warzone, the 2022 version of it. This is we had it last year as well. And this is one that we collaborated with the Espinosa factory. And it's getting some acclaim. It's a 93 rating from Cigar Aficionado. It's a #2 cigar collaboration in 2019 when we did it with Cigar Dojo, and Cigar Snob was given a 91 rating as well. Cameroon wrapper, Honduran binder, Nicaraguan and Colombian filler. So
Nice.
you're definitely stepping up on the strength. This is a different size that we did this year.
Right.
I kind of like the smaller ring gauge. It's getting a better balance for me than the original ones that came out. So yeah, it's called the Rabideau.
Rabideau, it's a 6x46.
Rabbit.
Yeah,
you
it's-
can't tell. I mean, guys, y'all know the names. Throw us all off. Everybody's got a different name for a different size. So we'll just call it a 6x46. That's
Okay.
it.
Sounds
Rabideau.
good. Rabideau.
Who came up with that, Jack?
I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
Probably
I'm sure there's some kind of
him or Eric Espinosa.
yeah.
So them two together.
When you go to the smaller, the ring size like this, is smaller. So you got less filler and stuff in, right?
Right.
So you really, does that shift the flavor profile? Kind of comes more wrapper.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you got to think of it like in terms of making a meal, right? You got mashed potatoes, you got, the gravy. If you get if you get too much gravy versus mashed potato, it changes what the food tastes like. Well, in this case, the ratio of the wrappers, where the majority of the flavor is going to be coming in, versus the fill and the binder, you start altering those and your profiles change completely.
Yep.
So it's Cameroon wrapper. Tell me about Cameroon wrapper then, if that's going to be influencing the taste that much. Because I'm getting some pepper in there, so I'm just asking.
Yeah, there's some spice.
Does it not temper it a little bit? I mean, because Cameroon is...
So, and it's the same kind of thing with how much age is on that Cameroon,
Right.
The processing methods used that all can change it. So, while the base Cameroon, we have an idea of what that's going to smoke like, you start marrying it with other things, and it...
But they're almost opposites. Almost, is my...
Right.
Because you're sitting there, what's the filler is strong. I mean, there's no
Oh,
doubt.
there's no doubt.
But that wrapper, to me, kind of tempers that, gives you that
the balance.
sweet and sour type,
Yeah. The
balance
balance
that
to
you're
it.
looking for.
Rabideau comes from Alejandro Rabideau.
Rabideau comes from Alejandro. Where is that?
He was a
He. Okay.
was a big cigar guy.
All right, Alejandro from Cuba comes from that. He named a cigar, or that was
The only Cuban grower to have cigar brand actually named after him.
the only Cuban grower to ever have a cigar named after him, after Castro.
Wow.
Well, Castro had his
Yeah,
own brand.
yeah. Castro had his own brand, but he wasn't a grower.
Right.
He was a smoker.
So,
The CIA was trying to get him with the cigar.
There you go. So if y'all didn't know, if you're joining us for the first time, if you know ESPN College Game Day, they have Bear sitting over there on the side, like he's doing comments,
making the magic happen.
making the magic happen. This is Jack.
He's making
Jack's
the magic
making the
happen.
magic happen. So he's
Nephew.
like our fact checker and all things research. So when we bring things up, he's naturally going to look it up. So when you hear us talking, that's who we're speaking with. He doesn't have his own camera yet. Eventually, I see that happening because he's a lot more entertaining than I am.
So when I was
So-
sitting here, y'all were talking. I'm studying the construction here because when I first glanced at this thing and I look at the wrapper and I thought, well, this is real veiny, but it's really not. It's deceiving because I thought it was really heavy
Thought
veins,
it was kind of toothy.
but it's really not. It was just where one of the leaves ends and it starts. But I do see some pretty good veins in this particular wrapper. So, I mean, it's not really smooth. Like sometimes
Some
you
of the
get
shade groans where they're
Yeah.
really like
real fine. Yeah.
real delicate.
So I would venture to say that maybe
Kinda like you.
some of this pepper is coming a little bit from the wrapper as well. Maybe
She
I
ain't
don't know.
delicate.
Well, I'll tell you that I enjoy it.
It's
a
already
good
changing.
smoke. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this one is the first light up was a little spicy,
Wow.
and to me, now that I'm even just an inch into it, it's kind of got that on the back end.
I think that's that Espinosa influence.
I'm almost getting a creamy on the back side of my tongue.
But Espinosa is kind of famous for that.
Yeah,
And
not the creamy, the spicy.
right. So when you get some of those together, those blendings coming together, and the influences from the different.
It is really cool to
think that's
see,
cool.
like when you get blenders that have a thing that they're really passionate about, whether it's big grain gauges from EP Carrillo, or if it's the body, the strength, whatever. When they get into their groove, it's really fun to see and to know that when you pick up a cigar that's blended by a certain blender, you kind of know what you're going to be getting. You have an idea anyway.
10 Years War,
Cuba.
Cuba, 1868 to 1878, the 10 Years War. That's part of this. That's part of the war zone influence. So the Rapido makes sense as you look at it.
Yeah.
The history.
The whole picture.
Because I have my glasses on, but it's still hard to read it.
It was led by Cuban planters, and they're wealthy contributors.
So it was the planters versus the landowners?
No. The patrons that created the farms, plantations for the growers, they combined and went against the Spanish.
Okay, so it's Spanish-Cuban War.
It's for the independence.
Gotcha. Okay. There you go. So we're learning
Kind
history.
of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal. We go from Ireland to Cuba to Mount Hollywood.
Yes.
Not Hollywood.
I like
So
that.
we have some exciting news, guys. I've been sitting on this. I'm antsy. I want it out.
Oh my goodness! Here we
It's
go.
very exciting.
Get it off your chest. It's healthy.
Carolee, what
Well-
was shipped today?
Cohiba Weller shipped this morning.
Cha-ching!
Cohiba Weller, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be in the house this week. So it's shipped today. It should be here by the weekend. We will definitely be posting that on Instagram and Facebook, and we may do a TikTok on it.
So
I may have to
exciting.
do a TikTok and dance on that.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all gonna want to see that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be a big deal.
John Travolta took lessons from me.
Oh, hell.
Of course, I was 8. So yeah. I danced a lot better at 8 than I do at 54.
I love it.
So,
Yeah,
Carolee,
54. I know you
You
can't
got
believe
it.
that.
Carolee,
Yeah.
all right, so correct me if I'm wrong.
What's that?
Cameroon rappers
Uh-huh.
from Africa?
Yes, from Africa.
Oh, so we're all over the globe.
The Republic of Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo.
Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah.
We could call this the International War Zone.
Ooh, wow.
It happened here.
That
It
happened.
happened here just now.
So the war caused the coffee export to go down and the tobacco export to go up.
So there you go. The war. The war caused
It's getting
the
deep in here, boy.
coffee exports to go down and the tobacco to go up, hence the growth of the Cuban cigar and influence in the world.
She was just channeling LeVar Burton from Star Trek.
Hey,
with the
you know.
glasses just now.
Let's do
Right,
it.
I remember that, yeah. I thought it was rerun from...
Hey.
hey, hey, Raj.
Hey, Raj.
Man,
So you mentioned a while ago about the how the blenders and all, but so that is sort of the, you know, now that you said that, that is sort of the Espinosa deal, right?
Uh-huh.
They kind of light up in that first, they hit you, pow, and you're right. We got into this an inch or so, and because I was like, I'm sitting there dreading. I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be a rough one
You're
for
going to
me.
be in fetal position in the corner.
No, I'm gonna be all right now.
Make the bad
It-
Caroline
it's smoothing.
stop.
It's smoothing out.
well,
Smoothing out.
she wasn't gonna hurt your feelings too bad. Plus, we had to lighten the load with the 80 proof Redbreast 12.
Yeah, because, you know, Carol Lee won't be able to feel her legs.
No,
And she's
I
on
am-
drink number 2, I think.
I
She's
am
already
not
been warming
afraid
up.
to admit when, what'd you call it, the whiskey hug? Or
The
the
Kentucky Hug.
Kentucky hug? I like that. That feels about right.
I did not come up with that. We heard about it in Kentucky. So
I
Oh,
like
wow.
it because that's exactly how it feels. And when I say hug, I mean like the choke hold and yeah.
that one,
yeah.
yeah. It's what
Good
T
job.
got. T got that one with the 1910.
Old
Old
Forester.
Forester 1910. We should have done the 20 because it's easy going. We did, and
We
then we
did.
did the 10 to show the difference.
And
It
there's
was
a-
just she and I think.
yeah.
You weren't here. I think
Right.
just T and I when we were doing
Oof, boy.
it. We gave her a shock to the palate.
No. See, Charlie teaches us to sip to shock the palate. I don't know what I was thinking at that time.
You just take a big old gulp, didn't you?
Which she thought,
Plug it down.
since she had already had a 1910,
Right.
that this was going to be close enough that she'd have to do it. I know exactly what happened because
Lure
I've done
her
it
in.
myself.
The
So I
water's
went.
fine. Come on
Come
in.
on.
So I have this
Come
single
on.
barrel Elijah Craig that I got, the single barrel pick, private selection from O'Darby's.
Yep.
So it's 123 proof. So last night I get home, have a beverage, okay? So my initial beverage was Eagle Rare, okay? Because, you know, if you're going to have an Eagle Rare, last night was the time to have an Eagle Rare. I won't go into why. But
Go ahead.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
not.
no,
I'm
no.
not even going to talk
No,
about
it was a
that.
good night to do it.
It was a
anyway.
great night to do it.
Yeah.
Then I said, you know, I need to try this Elijah Craig. And I looked at it. I didn't really have my glasses on. I could see 3 digits, but that's all I knew, right? So I pulled a.
So you knew
T-
high octane.
Well, I
3
knew it was
digits.
higher, but I didn't realize it was that much higher. So I
Right.
pulled a T Crocker. And Gina, that's my wife, for those you don't know. Gina's, you know, this is late in the evening. Like, this was like 11:30 because I had a late meeting. And I'm going to. Are you okay? I'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But after that, you know, I put some ice in it. I kind of cooled it off just a hair. I put 1 cube ice in it, and it cooled it down. But
Nice.
that will reach up and grab you, and it ate flavorful. You know, before we started the bar, a little over 2 years ago, I wouldn't even look at Elijah Craig. To be honest, I really had never tried it, and so I think Charlie, you probably introduced me to Elijah Craig.
We probably had one in here.
In the small batch.
Yeah.
I know that we have purchased it,
Yeah.
but I hadn't tried it. And so now, I'm telling you, you guys are missing out if you're not getting the Elijah Craig small batch, the single barrel. They've got the full line. We're going to the distillery next week. So I'm looking
Don't
forward
come
to
home
that.
empty-handed.
Joe,
So
how,
I'm driving this time, so that way I can bring back more. I am
Thank you.
definitely buying a case of Buffalo Trace.
you got
You
an
and bubble
itinerary?
wrap
Y'all
going.
kinda got your-
We
Listen.
need to follow up on that.
My birthday's
So-
in December, so hey.
So we're December 11th. I think there's a party.
Might be kind of a big deal. I don't know.
With these two, it's always a big deal. So I'm just telling you,
I've heard rumors it's a big deal.
it's a big deal. You're a big deal. She's a big deal.
Mook said you deserve
Okay, 3.
So Mook, the Mook knows the story behind this. So if y'all don't know who the Mook is, he's my next door neighbor. Real instrumental in starting the bar and helping us get things going.
Cue ball.
A lot of great ideas. He actually watched a meeting I was in last night, and so he understands. It was great. Actually, it was a great meeting. So it just
I gotta get with the Mook because I sent him a picture of this airboat and he never responded. I don't know if he ever saw it. He's gonna have to.
well,
he's
the Mook's been out of town. They're back in town, so
No,
he might be
I
catching
messaged
up.
him. I messaged him
Oh, you did?
a picture with this airboat. And it was pretty damn funny.
All right, so let's the Cohiba Weller's coming in. Very exciting.
Yep.
Going to be here. We do have more than we had last year. So when it first came available, I think as soon as it was sent out, Carolee got an email that says, "I'll take 5."
I don't know how you type it out, but I heard, please,
Yeah.
can I have some?
Yeah, and so I responded back real quickly. Last year, I think we only had 2 boxes. And so this year, we sold out the first week, like we were done. So we ordered extra this year. You guys, please come in this weekend and grab a hold of that. It's
And
going to be
the
great.
cool thing about this year's one versus last year it was blended to drink with it. This one was actually aged in the Weller barrels. So you're going to pick up some of those subtle notes. How cool.
And the Mook found me a Weller's Antique 107, so we may have to break open the 107 and smoke it and drink it. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Good idea.
He's got them every once in a
She's
while.
looking for an invitation. I'm already telling you that. I know the look.
Oh, listen. Okay, this is all I'm saying. You going to Kentucky. You're going to do the Bourbon Trail, the tour, all that. All I'm saying is, don't come home empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not nice.
It's like, don't forget about your friends.
Right.
All right, so
and your family.
we're actually leaving on Wednesday a day early because we discussed last week the only appointment I could get with Buffalo Trace Tours was at 2:00. And it's about a 6.5, 7 hour drive from here. So rather than getting up, driving Thursday morning to make it, we're going Wednesday evening, staying in Knoxville, and then driving the rest of the way up.
It's a logical decision.
I think.
I see
It's a
that.
sacrifice you gotta make.
I know.
Just saying.
But
Yeah.
I have to look at the route. Is Chattanooga on the way? I don't think so. I'm a little north of that, right?
Southeast Tennessee.
Right, so I'm a little north of that going
Yep.
to Knoxville. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I was
It could
wanting to go
be
to the
on the
distillery
way.
because I want to make the most of Wednesday. I just don't know when we're leaving. But so we're going to Buffalo Trace, doing the tour. Hopefully E.H. Taylor or Weller's 107 is going to be the allocation of the day. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
We
that'd
can
be
buy
pretty
as
cool.
much Buffalo Trace as we want. So I am personally buying a case of Buffalo Trace while I'm there. I don't know how much more we're going to buy, but we can't buy
let me
more
see.
than one.
Let me see. You can hold a bunch. Just tuck it in there.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just saying a bottle apiece for the birthday.
We
I'm
can
just
buy
saying.
as much as we want.
I
Really?
still have Angel's Envy finished rye at my house for Carolee. I just forget to bring it. So I do have her one because she did me a lot of favors this year. So I wanted to get that for her.
I'm just going to deposit a chunk of money in your Venmo account and
Just get ahead of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
if y'all
you
know
For
what
the
you want,
in case?
I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna
I
go.
don't care.
We're gonna go to.
Do you know what you want? Yes.
Willett Distilling.
Yes.
Definitely, we're going to go to Peerless. We're certainly going to go to Michter's because of the bar. If y'all haven't been to Michter's bar
I haven't.
in Louisville, man,
I-
they have the best bartending crew out there, and they make the best bourbon drinks. Even Gina drinks them. Are you okay?
Yeah.
She
You
got
didn't
all
eat
the
that
cleanse.
chicken again, did you? Well, you're sitting over there, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's ground beef.
So, Old Bardstown, Jamaica. I was just looking to see
Where is Wilderness Trail made? I think it's the
You
same
should
place.
go there Wednesday morning.
Where's Wilderness Trail?
You can
It's
go
in,
right.
Danville.
You can go right.
Really?
You can go right through there, Danville, Kentucky, on your way to.
Wilderness Trail, guys, if you're looking for something similar to Blanton's, Wilderness Trail is a great pick. Old Bardstown Bourbon is a $20 bottle that we found. I found it at O'Darby's in Rock Hill. Another really good pick if you're looking for the, that vintage of a $20 bottle or less, your benchmark and
Those
that.
little gems that you would never assume that it would be a good pour.
So you said that you would have never tried Elijah Craig, correct?
I had never tried it prior to being introduced to it.
So have you ever had Larceny?
I have not.
Okay. So Larceny and
Hard
Elijah
conviction.
Larceny and Elijah Craig is made by the same company. Try Larceny.
I will. I see it a lot.
Larceny's good.
And I've heard good things about it. When I go to pick them out, I try to buy a bottle before I bring it into the bar, especially if I don't know it or,
Yeah.
Charlie said, hey, you need to have X. So certainly I would have it in the bar. But I try to try them. So when I go, I'm looking for stuff like that. And I need to pick that up next time. I always buy the Knob Creek 9. Y'all know that's my favorite.
Varsity is like a gold at San Francisco, double gold at Civil War.
Right. I mean, hey,
As of
I'm,
last year.
I'm learning here as well. I don't tell
You have to-
everybody I'm an expert.
Well, you got to find the stuff that
expert.
the stuff that you can find, or what you find. But on the secondary, what you're saying is being able to grab that, at least giving it a try. But then you also got to back into the availability. Does it come to the NC
I was just handing it to
ABC
you.
system, right?
Right.
So is it available in
Larceny
our?
is
Yeah,
available,
no,
right?
Larceny
Yes.
is. Old Fitz. Yep.
Old Fitz, yep. Luther, welcome. Good to see you,
Good
my
day,
friend.
everyone. Welcome to Tuesday.
The hand coming out.
Can't.
Take one step forward and
My
wave.
body's not ready for camera.
And we're not wanting your body, we want your face right now.
My face is ready
Tanya
for
wants
radio.
your body, not me. Woo! Hey, if y'all don't know, we're going to show you eventually a video of Luther singing one night.
No,
Luther,
I have not signed a release for that.
Okay.
I didn't ask for your permission.
Dude,
You had signed a release
I
for
got
that.
the rights because it happened in my bar.
dude.
Oh, you ain't seen the dance video, have you?
Oh no! So we got a
Oh.
dance video of you too.
There's a dance video.
Yeah, there
I
is
don't
because I
know.
heard about it.
I don't know that.
We're going to birthday night. We're going to Luther's birthday night and pull up the cameras.
Yeah, I'm not sure that T should be throwing stones when we talk about dance videos.
Hey.
I saw something I will never be able to unsee.
No.
No, I don't
What, when
even.
she was in Fayetteville? Oh, here.
I don't want to get that in my head. Don't.
You talking about the wall?
The wall.
That's Fayetteville.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it really?
Fayetteville. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Hey, didn't before people in Fayetteville know me, so hey.
Are you allowed back within the city limits? That's all I
No.
want to know. I was gonna say.
See, that's why we all love bourbon. You never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. So, I don't think that the Redbreast 12 can get any smoother until I take another drink. And it
Well,
is so
okay,
good.
so it's funny you say that.
And it
so
goes good.
This cigar has hit a sweetness for me, and I'm not sure if I'm getting it from just the cigar, if it's the combination of the drink as well.
Right.
But there's definitely I hit a point where from one puff to the next, it went from creamy to straight up. I taste a sweetness.
I don't think we should do this because I don't think it will work well. But I was just thinking if we got something like a 1910, Old Forester 1910, or a higher proof, maybe even the cast strength makers, and try it with this, right? So you're going to get a totally different experience.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. And it's funny. I mean, I think we probably don't acknowledge as much how the pairing gets a vote and how much that could absolutely change this
Yeah.
experience.
Yep.
I smoke cigars. There's a couple of them. The Torsador would be one of them. it never changes. Like for me, it doesn't matter what I'm drinking. If I'm drinking water, if I'm drinking bourbon, it's always the same for me, right? But there are others that I drink. I go,
Totally different.
I don't remember it tasting like this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember what I was drinking with it at the time, or maybe I'd already had a couple. You know,
Yeah.
it can change the way it tastes. So, you know, that happens occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me. But the Flathead 660 or the Torsador or some of those seem to me to be very consistent.
They hold their own.
Yeah, I think their identity is there. I don't think they're as flexible in their taste, maybe. I mean, the Torsador is one of the most flavorful cigars.
And that's maybe
Personally,
why it's
it's more of a medium.
tenacious, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like there's a distinct. Where I think with this one, there's a lot going on. So what you're drinking is going to highlight certain aspects of it. I mean, there's no doubt it's got
I
a
think
little
it
bit
brings
more.
that Cameroon out. I really do.
You're probably right.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting off of it. Because it's on the back end, I get the pepper. I'm still getting the pepper.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not as pronounced.
But
think.
am I crazy in that it started to get
Yes.
sweet?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
Those are
not
two
that
separate
one.
questions.
Yes, absolutely.
No, it
I
is.
should clarify.
It is getting sweeter.
Clarifying question. Besides the normal baseline crazy,
If you saw her motorcycle, you would understand why she's crazy. Oh my gosh, it is
Yeah?
so sweet.
isn't it? It's a gorgeous bike.
It really is. It's
I mean,
beautiful.
Ducati makes works of art.
Beautiful bike. She had it here. We had the shotless event on Saturday.
Keep throwing stones there, Brian. Keep throwing stones, beef. Keep throwing stones.
And so I see this picture. I was out of town, so I see this picture posted of this motorcycle, and I'm like, holy cow, what a beautiful bike. And I knew it had to be Carolise because she said she was going to park it right up front.
Mm-hmm.
She had to keep an eye on that
My precious.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
VIP parking.
All right, so
Yeah.
listen.
All right. So what
To
had
all our
happened
followers.
was
What had happened was, in the words of my son, which turned 30 yesterday,
What had happened was, I love this.
That part.
When,
That
when the
part.
story starts there, man, ooh boy.
so I asked Brian, could we have an event
2 months ago.
2 months ago?
yeah.
Okay, Slingshot Saturday. We had it all planned out. Brian went above and beyond. I got to pay him back for it. Went above and beyond. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We had one motorcycle. After all y'all bikers cried and complained about coming here, and one Slingshot.
Well,
To my knowledge, hold on. I did not know. It was my fault. I did not know. There was a huge Slingshot event going on in Atlanta. Also, there was one in Dunn, North Carolina. So you got two events for the Slingshots. Also, there was a motorcycle club having an event in one of the local parks. That was my fault. I had no clue.
See, I think there wasn't. It was absolutely accurate. Should have said Slingshots event,
Right.
right?
Right.
That part. We did
It's
in
like
fact
getting
have
a
a
haircut
slingshot.
and only cutting one hair.
Right. Right.
I get it.
Words have meaning.
So y'all know I'm never going to live this down, correct?
Now, I will say this. This is why we do these things. We're going to try anything once.
Right.
Because you never know what is going to stick. And we've had slingshot events here in the past that have been very successful, and I know that one will be successful in the future. Not doubting that a bit, you know, but I applaud you for having a great idea, coming up and being creative, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all, running a small business. You know, you run a bar, you do things, and you want to excite people. That's exciting. So I think it's great. I think you don't know till you don't know,
Right.
right? You got to go through things to learn.
Although I am
And-
suffering from
Education is expensive.
yes, it is. So
Yes,
I'm
it is.
suffering from a rotator cuff injury from trying to wrestle into my Kevlar pants.
Hey, all I can say
I'm
is,
just saying.
I'm too close to ask the question I want to ask.
all I
I
can
am
say,
too close.
no, I am going to say this. The fun part of the day was watching Carolee pull up on her Ducati, and all the guys in the big trucks that were stopped at the stoplight going,
We about had a wreck out here on
the
Highway
light
27,
is
yeah.
that way, sir,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah,
The light turned green, and the guy's still sitting there like this.
that part. That's funny.
It's like,
In her Kevlar tank.
Yes.
Yes.
no,
She's in it.
what? No. What really got him is the fact that it was the blonde hair sticking out of the helmet, and when she got off and she pulled her helmet off, I think at one point the passenger was on the phone and he went,
Because the driver's going, look. You know that was
Hitting
happening.
him.
"Oh yeah,
Well, in fairness, it's not a small bike.
No, I mean it's noticeable.
Yeah, it's 1100 cc.
Okay.
It's a felony sitting still.
Oh my goodness.
It's Ducati. I don't know.
um,
Probably.
We don't know how many cylinders it is.
It's
but
fast.
It's fast.
Yeah. Now I had to get rid of my. I had a Pengali 1199. I told you about that bike.
Yeah.
So that bike was gorgeous. I mean,
I'm like the Rain Man when it comes to motorcycles.
this thing was
I'll take your word
like
for it.
dating a male stripper. It was beautiful to look at, and it was good at one thing, but it was worthless for everything else.
But that one thing
Oh, yes, that
is
one thing.
worth it.
Yes. But the problem out here is the roads. You can't ride that bike the way it was intended.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I've got it. I don't know what this bike was.
They're beautiful.
On Friday, okay, I get on 485 around Charlotte. We're
The
heading.
racetrack,
yeah,
aka the racetrack.
the Autobahn."
Yep.
I gotta tell you this. This is crazy. So I get on it, and my wife, we're dropping her car off in South Carolina to get it fixed on the way out of town. I call her up because there's a state trooper. My wife has a tendency to go quickly.
No,
So-
no. She is liaising with local law enforcement. She's doing her part to stop.
She knows
and say
more of
hello.
them than she should. So I call her up, and she's behind me because she got behind some lights or whatever. So I call her up and said, look, Smokey is under the bridge. Like, as soon as you get on, you're going to see.
Not
Oh.
Smokey.
So she, before I could say anything, Smokey and the Bandit, no, Smokey, the Popo. So she says, hold on a second. Like, I'm getting ready to tell you, hold on a second. I'm like, all right. She gets back on. I tell her, she goes, Brian, this motorcycle went by me so fast, it almost wrecked 3 cars.
What?
Okay, right. So I look in my rearview mirror and I see it coming. Like it was, I don't know how far, half mile, quarter mile away. I could see that its headlight was on
He's
and it was
closing.
moving.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just see how fast it was going. State trooper is sitting right there, never moving.
You know, he's looking at that going. He's
Oh, you
like,
can't catch it.
You could
No,
not catch it.
I'm
I said,
good.
You don't catch him.
he went by me while I was still on the phone. Like, this is a 30-second
I
conversation.
don't know what it is about the 485. So it's a hub that wraps all the way around Charlotte. And maybe it's because, like, the main veins that go into the city or out of it. Right? So 85 and 77, those are parking lots. I don't care what time of day is, what day of the week. Doesn't matter. It's always a parking lot. But you get to the 485, and it's like, hello, kitty.
It's the Autobahn. I
everybody-
call it the Autobahn.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
485 has more accidents. I don't know how many there are, so this is not scientific, that people die in.
Oh yeah.
That you see them because last night there was one. Early this morning they had to shut it down again because somebody was on their side. I can see that somebody died in that.
That's too bad.
A
That's
couple weeks
unfortunate.
ago, again, people go the wrong way on 485 a lot.
Stay
Yeah.
out of the left lane.
This person's name I knew wasn't the same guy, thank God. But he was going the wrong way on 45, hit another car, killed both people in it.
Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you, man, it is always under construction,
Yeah.
and there's always somebody going the wrong direction on that road. It's dangerous. Oh,
So
yeah.
I do a lot of driving for work. Anywhere from like 2,500 to 4,000 miles a month. So I've got cameras on my car front and back because I've learned since I moved to the Carolinas that unless you have it on film, chances are, depending on the jurisdiction you're in, they're not going to write the other person a ticket because it gets thrown out in court.
Right.
Even though we all know that one party has to be moving to hit another party, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. But, so I got my cameras, and it has been an amazing thing to catch because it's catching stuff coming up behind me too. So when like you see that motorcycle go zipping by you, you can pull it up and see what it was doing before you noticed it. And I've seen insane wrecks where people go up over the median, landing in the lane. I mean, it's like, oh my God. So because I drive so much, and I try to be, take those factors the wrong ways and stuff, as soon as it's dark out, I don't ever travel in that left lane. Because for whatever reason, when you have impaired drivers, they still tend to stay in that left lane because in their head, they think it's a 2-lane road.
Wow. Did not know that.
So they don't have the sense to drive the right way on the freeway, but there's something still in them that keeps them on the left side. So just,
I never thought about that.
your
That's
2 cents.
something I'm going to remember that.
Hey, Maria, can you bring the bottle of red breast over?
That's awesome.
I'm telling you, man, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
It does go down exceptionally well.
Maria, wave. This is Maria.
So, often I've mentioned that the employee shuttles smells like weed
Bad.
and
Bad
country
life
brew.
decisions.
Yeah,
What was the last? What?
Country brew.
country brute.
Brute.
Old Spice
Oh.
brute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Not cool water.
not cool water. So today, this afternoon, I get off work, and it's not crowded, but it's kind of, it's a lot of people on the bus. So one of my coworkers looks at me when I walk up on the bus, and he was like, T, I got a seat right here. So I said, okay. So I just mosey on by, sit down. I sit next to this young man, and he has both arms are just covered in tats. And y'all know I like tattoos, So I sit down next to him, and I look down, and I said, oh, nice, I like your ink. And he's like, oh, thank you. So we sitting there, he's playing on his phone. And I get this, whiff. And I look over at him, I go, you need to stop smoking them Black & Milds. He kind of looks at me.
She's in my head.
He says, well, I smoked one today. I said, yeah, I know. You need to stop smoking them. And he kind of looks at me funny. I said, you need to stop smoking those Black & Milds and smoke a real cigar. He kind of looks at me. He goes, I went to a cigar bar once. I said, really? He said, yeah.
Did they let you in?
And he
That would have
says,
been my second question.
this is the funny part. He says, yeah, I went back there in the refrigerator where they keep the... I said, you went where?
He was at the board.
He said, I went back there in the refrigerator where they keep the cigars at.
Right.
I said, oh, the humidor.
Oh, yeah. That thing.
Oh, yeah, that room, that refrigerated room. Oh, okay. Nice to know that you, I don't know what lounge you was at, but okay. I said, but let me know when you want to smoke a real cigar. You come on over to Smoking Barrel. Oh, that's the one on the east side. No, sir. It's right there in Mount Holly.
Or
He
Mount
said-
Hollywood,
he
as
says-
Brian likes to say.
What's the name of it? So Charlie, we was texting earlier. Charlie sent me the link for YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
So I pull up the text, and I show him. I said, this is the name of it. He says, oh, okay. I said, yeah, let me know when you're ready. Come smoke a real
We'll take
cigar.
them training wheels off.
Oh.
But the refrigerated room, that's the part that got me.
That was pretty good. I
Yeah.
like that.
So.
But you knew what he was talking about, so that's
I got to
at
make
least a
some new
start.
graphics
Oh, did
for
I
you.
empty it?
How in the hell did Brian just pass me an empty bottle?
I didn't know it was empty. Hey, Maria, we need some more Redbreast 12.
That's it.
We need another bottle out of the back.
Go in,
I didn't realize I drank it all.
go in the refrigerator room and get
Go
Yeah,
in
go
that
get it out of the
refrigerator.
refrigerator.
Room back there and bring us another bottle.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I need the extra drink today because this morning I was supposed to have my hair done. And you can tell it's not. I was very traumatized. I left the house this morning. I'm all proud of myself. I was like an adult. I actually put pants on and, did the whole thing. And my hair, I looked like a shiftless hobo, but everything else was put together.
That's
and I
when
thought,
you see everybody you know.
yeah, exactly. I was like, weird. Everybody's honking at me. They're probably like trying to hand me $5 bill.
She's the lady on the motorcycle.
Probably. Haven't combed my hair since, but we're good. Yeah, and I go in there and they put it the wrong month. So I was very disappointed. I had to go home and comb my
Were you
hair.
able to get another appointment?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
So the last time that happened to me, I forgot I was having my hair cut, and I missed the appointment.
Ooh, it was your
And
fault.
I could not get another appointment for a month.
Woo.
So now I go to Sport Clips. I can show up, I can check in, I go over. I'm just saying, I tried. So I just retro-held this cigar. So by the time you get to the last third,
Okay.
it is mild enough. It is,
That you can pull that off?
you can pull it off.
All right.
Had I done that at the beginning, that would not have been a good scene. I'd have been sneezing.
Like you said, education's expensive.
Education is expensive, I promise you. You will find that out if you don't know it already. Not
This
just
is
the
nice
colleges,
though. I mean, like
but,
this has gotten to a
life.
point where it's
Right.
it's mellowed out. It's all the tobacco's made friends and hanging out now.
Yep.
And the good news is we have it in the humidor.
Yep.
Yes, you do.
So how was the
It's not
stock
one
in
of
there?
those psych.
I
Well,
haven't
and-
been in today. The humidor's pretty well stocked right now. I
The
mean,
humidor is packed.
wow.
We have a tremendous selection right now
Cool.
of great cigars. We get our foundation in last week, right? Is that coming in this week? So we had plenty of foundation, and all of a sudden it was gone. I mean, they are flying off the shelves, so we'll have another order in this week.
There was one y'all posted the other day that just got in. What was that?
Probably the Ashton ESG.
So
There it
the
is.
Ashton ESG 24-year, 23-year. The 24-year, if you're looking for Opus X, same fillers. Same fillers. You guys, if you're looking for the Opus X, you got to try the ESV 24 from Ashton. Really, really good. I took it on vacation with me. I took it out of town this weekend. Really nice cigar. It's more of a Corona size that we got. It's really the only size. And really good. So you guys ought to try that one. It's a little pricey. It's in the upper Cohiba end a little bit.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
Spectre, but it's a $28 cigar. But if you're looking for that quality of Opus X, that type of thing, that's where you're gonna find that one. Really, really good.
So let me tell you about one that I pulled out Friday. I ran across this and this is, I noticed I picked this one up at the ABC store up in Mooresville last Friday.
Is that like a normal
Two-
watering hole for you, or is that
No,
just
no, we were,
randomly?
so we were up there 2 weeks ago. We had that private event. We did a tasting.
Right.
We kicked into the ABC store right up the road. So let's just go in here. Troy and I popped in, and so we go in there and just see what they had. So I'm perusing down through there. I see this bottle, and it's called Wheat Penny. So if you remember the old wheat pennies, the
Yeah.
pennies that the
Uh-huh.
wheat, right? And I was like, okay, caught my eye. I picked it up, and I'm reading it. So this is from the Cleveland Distillery. So Cleveland, think about Cleveland Underground.
Cleveland
Yeah.
Underground.
So
yeah.
Cleveland Distillery, and I'm reading this. This is a wheated bourbon that they put together, and they finished it with some black cherry wood. And I don't know if they put the stave in. I don't know. I'm sure.
That must be their signature because they do that with the Underground.
So
Did they really?
So I said, well, I'm gonna grab this. And so anyway, I grabbed it last Friday. I did my Friday afternoon thing, sitting on the back patio, and I grabbed that, poured it, So you get this again. You get the sherry finish to it, and it gets it.
Is that and they're using the infusion process with this, or not? Right? Like they do with the underground.
I'm not sure if they did the infusion or not, but I'm just saying if that's something new that you wanted to. Although I don't know where in the heck you're going to put any more bottles on the bar, but I'll have to
We need
bring
a new shelf to come out.
I'm gonna have to bring you. I'm gonna have to bring that over to the house.
What's the name of it, Charlie?
Wheat Penny.
Okay.
Wheat Penny.
Is it Cleveland Wheat Penny, or is it just Wheat Penny by Cleveland Distillery?
I'll show you the picture because
So we could try to order that and see if they have it. I mean, the underground, that's one we need to reintroduce.
Oh, okay.
It's a cool
It
bottle.
is a wee penny.
yeah,
It's a Wheat Penny on the front of it.
Now,
So-
I will say that his shelf gives me anxiety.
it's like it's gonna
not
fall.
going anywhere.
No, it does. I look at that and I just like, it stresses me out. I think, oh my God, if that were to fall, because I'm sure that weighs a ton.
It does. But it's not going anywhere. We reinforced it. Chris reinforced it. I will tell you. When
Serious.
Chris does it, it's
We got
Seriously done.
hurricane coming our way.
we need to have a hurricane party.
We got to batten down the hatches.
Yeah.
That means I need to go to.
Hey, regardless of the weather this weekend, we are still on for
This is an evacuation site.
Daniel Jeffers on Friday night. We'll have to ring in the hurricane
Yep.
coming in.
Yep.
And we got jazz on Saturday night. Maria, who do we have Saturday night? And the jazz band on Friday night. Saturday. All of us band.
Oh, Pappy.
What? What website is that?
I just looked up Wheat Penny.
And that came up.
They have. I'm not telling you what website because all y'all going to go to it.
Yeah, so
The Pappy Van Winkle 15-year bottle for $98. Come on, man.
it might just be the bottle.
I want you to try to.
I think that's it.
No, it's not just a bottle. I want you to try to buy it.
You get an empty bottle. That'd be pretty
I
messed
want
up.
you to try to buy that, and then
Yeah.
we'll just have it to look at because nobody's going to drink it.
Well, I will say the
I
whole
wish I could bring it into the bar.
the
but
whole
I don't have
hurricane
one.
thing, right? Like I've been out here now for 5 years, and I still can't wrap my head around that weather is a thing. You know, coming from Phoenix where we don't believe in it,
Yeah.
I come
that
out
hot?
here. Yeah, I come out here and everybody's talking about weather and check the channels and watch
Yeah.
this and
It's
I'll
every
tell you
day,
what.
though.
No,
on Saturday when there was rumor of rain, watch how fast I was hauling, but getting on my bike and getting it home because those racing slicks on the tire, it does not like water.
Yeah.
We do not do wet roads. No, very bad. So I always get excited when like these actual fronts come in, and I'm still fascinated by it.
Well, everybody has been traumatized who's been here longer than 30 years, 40 years by Hugo.
Yes.
What did
So
Hugo do here?
Okay, so Hugo.
Because it seems like we're so far inland that it wouldn't be
well,
a
you
thing.
Would, you would think.
Think.
Okay, so that's the way we've always lived our lives. Hazel came through in 1954 and did a lot of damage to North Carolina. Okay, came in on the coast.
I don't trust it.
Well, yeah, if you don't trust it, I mean, it's too good to be true.
Well, when you try to go to PayPal,
Yeah.
it tries to get you directly to the
Yeah.
Yeah,
not,
no.
Not today,
No,
ISIS.
no,
Not
it's
today.
Too
Don't
good
fall
to be
for
true.
it.
I knew it was. So now Hugo comes through, and this was, all right, so I was in college. I was
89.
a senior, 89.
Yeah.
Spring, the spring,
1989.
was it?
September 1989.
September 1989. So I was in college. My parents lived here. And when it came through here, it still was packing 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Really?
It was
It
Category
came-
1 still.
And because this isn't a place that gets stuff like that, I'm sure structurally they're not
Well, it went
ready
so
for that.
quickly. It
Yeah.
went into Charleston
It came up
and
that
went
way.
up here.
And probably all the people from Charleston probably evacuated to here.
Columbia, probably, yes. So it came here and took a right turn. No, kept going straight because it went through the mountains. You could go in the mountains today and still see pine trees
Swaths that were cut,
done.
knocked down.
Right, because I was in Chapel Hill, which is in sort of the eastern part of the state. You're going. We had a sunny, beautiful sunny day and breezy.
And then
That's
not.
what we had. Nothing there. and it was straight up through the mountains.
Yeah.
And I finally, we don't have
Crazy.
cell phones in 1989, right? So I finally get in touch with my family. I'm like, is everybody okay? We're kind of seeing the news here.
Yeah.
Do y'all need ice? Because there's nothing. No
Right.
power, no ice, no water. I mean, it was
Yeah,
bad.
people were out of power for like a week.
Wow.
Plus, I mean, there was some
It was
out a long
crazy.
time. And my dad was like, you stay where you are.
Yeah.
Really?
This is like a war zone. So my dad worked for Eastern Airlines, and they don't stop. I mean, I don't care what it is, you got to be at work. So he had to drive
pulling,
to work.
They're pulling trees off the runway
Right.
and
Yeah.
taking off and
Yeah.
going.
I mean, but he had to be at work and drive around all the trees in the road. And it was
Wow.
crazy.
What was crazy is I was in high school, and it was like a year to the day that my grandfather passed. So that's how I can remember it. We had, and for people in the South, everybody knows what a clothesline is. So I had a pair of shorts on the clothesline.
Keyword being had.
Had.
Yeah. I picked that up.
Yeah. Hugo came through, and I think he put them shorts on because they were standing straight out.
Really. I'm
Just like
impressed
that.
that the clothespins held on.
Yeah, and finally they was just gone. But
Wow.
my grandmother, I can remember my grandmother waking me up because I was literally knocked out. And I don't know what startled her or whatever, but she was in the front room and she was calling my name, and I'm like waking up. And I get up and I go in to the front room, and I said, Mom, what's the matter? And she says, we might have to leave. I said, what are you talking about? She said, it's here. It's here.
And she's thinking it's some relative that they don't
And
care
I'm
for.
thinking, like, what's going on? But then, you know, as I'm sitting there looking at her and looking in her face,
You could see the real
I
fear.
can see, like, okay, this is going to get real.
This is serious.
This is serious.
Yeah.
And
So-
she's-
And that's the weird thing about like living out here. When you have tornadoes and all these other things, like nobody has basements.
No. We're not from the Midwest. No, nobody has basements.
No.
If they do, it's got a pool table and it's a
Yeah.
wet bar. It's not
It's not a
lot
bunker.
Of, yeah.
Gotta have a bunker.
It's not a shelter. Yeah, it's not from, the Wizard of
Which
Oz.
is amazing to me because it seems like that would actually be something that would be kind
Well,
of
but
important.
you can drown in there because of all the water, so you don't
But
really.
we're up high.
But the flooding and the flash flooding. Remember that we have the South Fork River over here and the Catawba River that can flood, and it floods Cramerton regularly. So
Yeah.
when they swell, you don't want to be in a basement.
I'm glad you said Catawba because in my head every time I read it it's Catawamba.
Catawba.
Catawba.
We make fun of it and say Catawba.
Well, I have a,
Hey, you ought to try to live on West Catawba Avenue.
yeah.
And you
Catawamba.
call like somebody and say, well, what's your address?
Catawamba.
It's Catawba Avenue, and they go,
I don't
can
see
you
anything.
spell that for
Right.
me? Like, I didn't realize that was so unique to the area.
So
this is
It's
finishing great.
one
This
of
is
our
awesome.
GTG members, she comes here a lot. She's going to school at Western Carolina, which is in Color Week.
what is it really?
Color
It is
Week.
Color Week,
It's
yeah.
Color Week.
It's where Mook went.
How is it spelled?
E.
Come
So-
on now.
So she calls it
Indian name.
Cool Week.
Cool week.
Cool Week. So,
That's our education program hard at work.
right.
Cooey.
Cool Week.
Part of the freshman indoctrination.
Yeah. So it's funny to hear her talk, and she goes, "Yeah, I go to school," and she'll look at me. She says, "T, what's the name of the town?" I says, "Color Week." That's not what that word says. I was like, okay,
It
all
is
right.
phonetic. I mean, if you
Yeah.
actually break it down phonetically, it is
Clearly.
Color Week. It is
Clearly, hooked on phonics did not work for me.
Catawba.
Can't ever say this.
I mean, Catawba's like that if you look at it.
Catawamba.
Catawba.
Catawba.
Well,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And if
but
you're
I'm
on the
telling
other
you,
side,
man,
you're at Kitty Wampus.
this Res 12, this war zone, 10 years war. Learned it today. It's very exciting.
Mook.
The Mook, go Cats. LaShawn drinks it.
The Cooley.
Yeah.
She was talking about drinking the Pappy.
Yeah,
The what?
the Pappy.
You're saying we weren't going to drink that.
Oh, she'll drink it. Yeah, imagine. Yeah. Yeah, $4,000 bottle plus.
This
Yeah.
was a great pairing.
I think it was.
It was very good.
I'm glad.
So-
I'm glad I talked about it last week because I said we need to do Red Breast 12 next week.
And if anybody's interested in smoking this cigar, don't wait too long because it is a limited production, and from what it sounds like, this will be the last time they make it.
Oh
So
wow,
Oh wow.
that's a shame.
I'm not, encouraging hoarding. I encourage collecting. It's so less hoardy.
Yeah.
I'm a
Come by
collector.
and hoard. Smile
Yeah,
at me.
I'm a collector
Collector.
I think I need to.
or
you got any more
aficionado.
boxes?
It sounds so less of a psychological profile
Did we get one box or two?
of the Warzone.
Yeah. Did I get two?
I think you got 2.
So we have
Double
1.5 boxes left of the Warzone, right? That's about right. So you guys need to get them while they last.
I have to order
The
them.
Mook hasn't tried this to my knowledge, so he needs to try it. He wants 3. The Mook has ordered 3. Mook, I'll put them on hold for you. We have music bingo tonight. Come on by and get them.
Yeah.
We'll be here. So
Mook, it's gonna cost you. A
we
bottle.
have the Cohiba Weller coming in this week. It's very exciting.
Definitely do not wait on that one.
No, I'm telling you, it was gone in less than a week. I think you bought a box of it.
The last one?
Yeah.
It's an automatic.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I bought.
Yeah,
the-
that's
the
I was
fine.
gonna
Cohiba
say there
Weller
was
is
a
an
lifetime
automatic
member
3
that
put
got
back.
a box of those.
Yeah.
Just
Me,
saying.
Luther, and Brian.
We have a lifetime member that got one of those. But yeah, you're going to have to come in. I'd buy a box if I was you. Because these are so limited.
I would
You're doing
strongly.
1 or 2 at a time?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I mean, it's so rare to get them. It's kind of like getting the Andalusian bulls.
It's way more rare than that. Way more rare than that.
Brian.
Way more rare than that because the Andalusian bull is actually a production cigar now.
It's so backlogged.
Gotta put 3 back.
What?
Cohiba Wellers.
We're going to get it.
All right, so we got that going on. We got a ton of stuff coming up at the September 24th is past us. That's
Yeah.
done. October
I know.
19th.
Like-
October 19th is LFD is coming in, La Flor Dominicana. As we mentioned before, we've got Andalusian Bulls. They are going to be part of that. Buy 3 LFD, get a free LFD cigar, and you get the opportunity to buy an Andalusian Bull. 1. Those are tough to get. They are really hard to get.
It may be because Brian collects them and smokes them.
I love them. I love them. The Lajero from LFD, the Lajero, not the double Lajero, but the Lajero is very similar. It's very similar, guys. So the Mook bought me one down in Miami, brought it back. I don't even know that he and I have spoken about it. Really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Really enjoyed it. I saved it for a special occasion a couple weeks ago. He was not around, but I had it and really enjoyed it. Very good. So there's a lot happening, a lot going on. We try to keep it moving around here. We've got Jazz Thursday. We've got Daniel Jeffers playing solo on Friday. We've got All of Us band on Saturday. Hey, we're playing rain or shine. We're going to be indoors. There's lots of football. There's lots going on. So Sunday we have NFL Sunday Ticket. You guys come in and watch. Hopefully Dallas is playing like 1 o'clock. Yeah, because if you get Dallas and Pittsburgh playing at 1 or 4, man, you got a crowd. And you can hear a Dallas fan getting out of your car. They're still going to win the Super Bowl this year,
Chili Bowl.
with or without Dak Prescott.
Chili Bowl.
Hey, that kid, man, that filled in for him played well against the Giants. He played well. What's his name? Rush.
I don't know those.
All I
it's a
know
good game
is,
last
It was a good game, but they pulled it out.
all I
Saquon
know
did well.
is the offensive line showed up to play Sunday.
Well, thank God the defensive line showed up, and the defense.
was
Oh my gosh,
awesome.
So that kid, I honestly didn't get to see the game, but
My Panthers.
the Panthers beat the Saints, which is a shock. I gotta be honest.
Yep.
That was a shock. And who's
yeah.
the kid? It was his first game and had like interception for a touchdown.
No.
Man, played out. They were great. They were great. So awesome time, awesome. Notre Dame, thank you for leaving Chapel Hill. Don't come back. I made a $1 bet with.
I was going to say there was a bet made, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I did, but it was $1. I just wanted to bet something with
Bryan-
Anthony, who comes in, all the time and wears his Notre Dame hat. I'm sure he'll be here tonight, so I'm gonna pay him $1.
Brian makes them trading places bets.
On orange juice futures.
No, the $1. You mean?
I know what you're
Yes.
talking about, but you remember there's the orange
Oh,
juice
yeah.
futures that they
Yep.
were messing with.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
trading places.
Yeah.
Great movie. Dan Aykroyd,
Oh, that
Eddie
was
Murphy.
hilarious.
Eddie Murphy.
I still love watching that movie.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that one in a long time. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really good movie. All right, so we had a great cigar, the Warzone. We
Good.
had a great Irish whiskey.
Hey,
Remember
before we go.
S12?
Before we go.
Uh-oh.
She
So
knows I'm wrapping up.
My intentions today, when I got off work, was to go home. I was like, I'm gonna catch me a nap, this, then the third. But I get a text from my father. Y'all know how that is. When Daddy calls, everything stops. So I get to his house, and there's water in the kitchen floor.
Uh-oh. And I'm guessing he doesn't have an in-ground indoor pool.
No.
Okay. All right.
So I'm like, Dad, what's going on? This water, I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's the washer. Like, Dad has a front load washer and dryer. I'm like, Dad, is it still under warranty? God, no, it's not under warranty. All right, so let's pull this thing out, figure out what's going on, this, that, and the third. So I'm over there, and I'm mopping, and I'm looking, and I'm mopping, and I'm looking, pulling the washer out, move the dryer, tilt the washer. Dad, it's got to be coming from the bottom. Let's look this thing up on Google. So we start looking it up. All of a sudden, I'm like, Dad, I don't think this is the washer. So I said, I think it's the refrigerator.
Really?
So
The
I
ice,
was like, no,
ice machine?
it can't be the refrigerator, this, that, and the third. I was like, Dad, I'm not sure. So he's like, let's pull it out. It rolls out. Pull the refrigerator out. We get to the back of the refrigerator. And sure enough, it's just like steady stream.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Dad, it's coming. He was like, oh my God, it is the refrigerator. So give me pliers.
Look at how handy she is.
Let's figure this out. This, that, and third. Get back there, tighten it up, stop the leak. Okay, we're good. I'm like,
Look
all
at
right,
you.
Dad, what's the next adventure? He was like, I don't call you that much. I know, Dad, but when you do, when I fix something,
Did he make any comments about your hair?
no.
Good.
He just told me, he said, the refrigerator's still plugged up. So if you hit that one, if you hit that cord right there, you gonna get electrocuted. Dad, I'm okay. I got it.
Look at you.
I got it.
I'm so proud of you.
I know.
So you took care of Dad.
Hey, take care of Pops, you know.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So
Well, it's been a great day, great session. We appreciate everybody joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I had help. I had to call in some reinforcement. I had help. So you know who she is. I had
Today?
help today.
Oh, okay.
So we're good.
So T, what's the best cigar you're smoking?
The one I'm having right now with my family and my friends.
There you go.
Cheers.
You guys have a great day. Cheers.